What's up, fellas? JC with Lead Singers. We got another gun review, or not gun review. Uh, a couple of months ago, Glock came out with their Glock V model, and then just last month, out of nowhere, they came out with their new Glock Gen 6. Uh, I think it was a surprise to everybody. Nobody knew they were doing something like this. So they weren't supposed to be released till January 20th, but a lot of people have been able to get their hands on them, especially law enforcement. And luckily, we were able to get one through our Blue Label program, which are only for law enforcement officers. So we got it here, the new Glock Gen 6. It's a Glock 17 model. Uh, right away, as soon as I grabbed it, it reminded me of one of my favorite guns that I have actually up here from the new grip that they came out with, and that's the Walter. So if you ask me, like one of the other guys said, if Walter and Glock had a baby, it'd be the Glock Gen 6. That's what this grip feels like. It's got a little bit of a palm swell here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little bit fatter here than the other Glocks. And it's got those little thumb indentions at the top also. You see the stippling really goes high, and the stippling actually reminds me exactly of the Walter PDP. This is it here. I don't know if you can see the stippling on them. To me, they look exactly the same. Let's see if I get the light correct on it. So to me, it looks just like the Walter PDP stippling. Uh, the back reminds me of the same thing of a Shadow Systems back. We got the Shadow Systems XR 920p here. Uh, you can see that big old beaver tail. Looks just like the Shadow Systems uh, firearm. And as you all know, the Shadow Systems, they came out. They started making parts, accessories, and stuff so you can modify your Glocks and make them better. And I think this Glock has surpassed what Shadow Systems has to offer. Because the only thing that Shadow Systems has to offer that's better than your Glock Gen 3s and 4s and even 5s is that angle here. This is still the Glock angle, but that beaver tail, that bigger beaver tail, is a lot better, and the way it fits in your hand. A lot of people were talking about the groove cut right here, but I'm not somebody who ever got the Glock knuckle. So to me, I mean, if it's normal, it's not something that really, this is the Glock Gen 5 here, Koa, and it's just a little bit higher than the 5s. But I'm not somebody who ever got the Glock knuckle. Didn't matter how much I shot. My finger just never rubbed there. So I never got it. I never had to deal with it. Um, Another thing that they upgraded on the Gen 6s was that trigger. Now that trigger is nothing compared to your performance dynamic trigger from Walter. You see, that's a true flat face trigger right there, if I can get it zoomed in on. And then this is the new Glock Gen 6. It is, I guess you can say, a flat face, but it's angled right there at the very top. It comes down and then it's flat face, and then you got that safety trigger. So those are basically the big updates. Another thing that I noticed were your takedown levers here. They're way better than any other Glock Gen out there. I mean, they stick out. It's easier. Just to point out, I got no ammo around here. It's so much easier to grab those things. The levers, pull them down so that you can take the side off, take your gun apart. So that's the Glock Gen 6 right there. Those are the only updates that they did. The grip is phenomenal. Like I said, it reminds me of my Glock. This is my Walter PDP. This is my favorite gun, the Walter PDP. Another gun it kind of reminds me of, which is also up there for me, is your HK. And your HK, if you all know HKs, you all know y'all can switch out the sides here to make them wider, thicker. And I've got small hands, so I run it as thin as possible. kind of reminds me of the HK. So to me, it's just, kind of a HK Walter uh, combination, and this is what they got, the Glock Gen 6. I mean, it feels awesome. I mean, I grab it, the first thing I think of is my Walter. Again, my favorite gun. This one does have a little bit more of a hump back there, but as far as the sides, the grip, I mean, reminds me exactly of my Walter PDP, and this is my favorite gun. I do have the Walter PDP Pro E. It's got the same fit and reminds me exactly of that Walter PDP. I mean, it's just beautiful. We also got serrations up here, which, I mean, if you ride your hand way up there, your support hand, I guess you can use it, but the only time I run my hand real high is if I'm going to be shooting fast. Other than that, I'm going to be running back here again. Got small hands. My thumb doesn't really reach up there. So the barrel should be their performance barrel or their regular barrel, which is a performance barrel. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of the barrels in the Gen 5s were performance barrels. I am a Glock armor. I don't know if I'm going to need to go to another class because I am a Glock armor certified for Glocks Gen 3 to Gen 5. I looked at the internals here. I didn't take it apart, pull out the trigger mechanism and everything, but I really couldn't see anything in the inside, just looking at it from the top. And that's it. I mean, the trigger pull, is way better than their Glock Gen 3s and Gen 4s. But I don't know if it's better than their... Oh, yeah, that is definitely better than their 5s. I don't know if that's going to be their performance trigger. Because I don't know why Glock just don't release why they don't release their Glocks with performance triggers. I mean, they make a performance trigger for it. They should just release it. So when you buy it, you get your back straps in case you got bigger hands. You can add some extra width on there. You get your 3 magazines, and of course your lock and your little cleaning tool. So for the price, with the blue label price, you're going to get it for a little over $500. I mean that is not bad when it comes to a brand new gun, especially a Gen 6. You'd think they would up the price, but for law enforcement and service members, you get that blue label program. If you're in that blue label program, I mean, you're getting a big deal. I did get this with the basic white sights. That's what they had at the time. I do have another brand of XS sights that I'm going to put on here that I've had. I was actually going to put them on my Walter. I just never did, so I got them. They're brand new. They're here. Now, when it comes to duty use, I mean, we have a couple officers that need a little bit more help. We do work with them a little bit more than some of our officers, and I think this is greatly going to benefit them. That grip, they did change it to this. To me, these are a little bit fatter. I don't know what they did, but to me, these are a little bit thinner, and especially the women, if you got and guys with small hands, it's going to fit their hands a lot better. When it comes to your holsters, this is the new Blade Tech Valor holster. I bought this. I've been using it for my Glock 19 Koa. As you can see, it fits perfect, no problems. So this is the Glock Gen 6. No issues. So it's going to fit the new Glock, the new Valor holster from Blade Tech. We'll have a review on that coming up. I've been using this already for a little over a month, maybe even closer to 2 months. And other than it being like super wide, it's a nice holster. I mean, I like it. I did buy it without the hood though. So I do have this is the Glock 19 holster. This is a T-Rex holster for my Glock 17. And it will fit, but it's made for a different light model, so that's why it's a little tight. But other than that, if I just release the nuts here, made it a little bit looser, it'll fit it no problem. I do have I used this holster when I was carrying the Glocks, the Shadow System MR 920 comped. You know, it's got that extra barrel, so I needed a longer holster. So I bought this holster. This holster actually, it's actually for the Glock 34, but it also fits the Glock 17, 19, and 34. And it says on there Gen 5s with light optic. But as you can see, fits no problem. This is the Safariland 7378 RDS model. No problems. So if you're gonna buy this and use it for duty, I recommend this holster, the 7378 RDS model, or Blade Tech. I use Blade Tech on all my stuff. I use all their accessories. I forgot the name of it right now. Mine went blank, but I have this on everything. The little disc, the 360 disc. I use it on all my gear. So when we go out right now, I'll be able to just switch them out, you know, as I shoot. And then I don't expect it to shoot any different than any other Glock. When we qualled, even with my Gen 4, I can hit 100%, if not 99, almost every time. So it's hard to say it's gonna do better when you're kind of already hitting 100%. Will the groups be tighter? Maybe. With my Glock Gen 4 17 open sights, I can hit the still target at 60 yards, almost no problem. Might not hit exactly where I'm aiming, but you know, I can hit it pretty consistently. So again, if you ask me, this new Glock, I mean, that grip is what's gonna sell it. Other than that, if you're happy with your Glock and you've already taken it, had it customized, then, you know, save your money. But if you want a new Glock, again, this trigger, they're probably going to start selling this trigger assembly separate. The magwell doesn't really have too much of a magwell on there. You know, and as far as I know, there aren't any aftermarket like your Walter PDP magwell here. Your Shadow Systems, and I have one for the HK. I just don't have it on there. But the bottom pretty much looks the same as your Gen 5 magwell. There isn't too much of a difference there. So like I said, what sold me as soon as I got a hold of it was it reminded me exactly of my Walter PDP. So that's it there. I got one optic here. It does come with optic plates. I'm gonna try to get it outfitted. It's a Vortex Defender ST. I think I'm gonna put that one on it. I'll get it sighted in, and then I'll let you know how it shoots. Well, I'll take you out there. We'll shoot some steel, shoot some targets, and see how it shoots. Like I said, I already shoot good with the Glock Koa. I mean, this is a phenomenal gun here. The optic is great, except for one issue, which I'll have another video on that come out that is starting to really pop out a little bit more. I'll put it that way. So stand by. Let me go set up the targets outside, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're out here. We got a little bit of daylight. We got the gun sighted in. We zero our red dots at 15 yards. We got it outfitted with the Vortex Defender ST. I don't have another enclosed red dot right now. It's gonna take me some time. I save up money for that one. Again, we'll probably, if you saw a review on the Vortex Defender enclosed, we're probably gonna go with that one, unless Primary Arms releases their closed optic here pretty soon. So I'm pretty close. We're running out of time. So let's see how it shoots. Those are all A-zone hits. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Zoom in on it. Let me get my other two magazines. Just going back to our holster, the Valor holster from Blade Tech. As you can see, it fits perfect, no issues. All right, let's fire a couple more shots. All A-zone hits. Let's go to steel. All right. I was a hit on the 6-inch. A miss on the 4-inch. Oh. Good. Let's move on to the infinity target. As you can see, I got a couple hits on it already. If we can't see my new hits, I'll go out there and paint it real quick. And then the steel target we have in the back, that's about 45 yards. The infinity target's sitting about 25. These, like I said, the steel target and the brown target are at 15. So let's check the infinity target, the white one. We can zoom in on it. Got it? So all those shots were A zone. Got a good group. I'm hitting a little bit to the left. Let's take it out to that steel target in the back. Zoom in on it. See if we can hit that. That's like I said, that's about 45 yards there. Got it? All right. It might not pick up the hits, but we should get hopefully hear the ding on it. That's 45. Let's come back to the brown target here. Zoom in on it as close as you can get to the center. Good. All right, let's walk up to it and see what we got. So when we zoomed in earlier, we zoomed in on the wrong one. The first target I shot was here. You can see all A zone, pretty damn good shots except for one C. The trigger feels really good. Definitely better than the Gen 5 trigger. The recoil on it's good. The grip, like I said, the selling point of this gun is going to be the grip and the trigger. Everything else they did to it, I mean, if you don't want to spend, $600-700, I don't know how much they're going to go for civilians out there. But I mean, for the blue label, $517. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, that's not bad for this gun. Like I said, I'll probably start carrying this one on duty. I'll come back probably in a month or two, give you an update how it's doing. Probably in a month. I'll give you a month using my the Valor holster. I'm gonna do some more shooting. Like I said, we're losing daylight, so we'll go ahead and cut the video short. And you can see I was hitting that steel target at 45, almost no issues. But again, like I said, I do that with the Gen 4 Glock, and that's open sights. It's not milled for an optic, and I can do it. So it's up to you whether you think it's going to be worth it. Like I said, the biggest selling point is that grip. It reminds me exactly of my favorite gun, again, the Walther PDP. But I mean, it feels really good in the hand, real good in the hand. Our officers, our female officers, they're gonna enjoy it. Good thing we haven't placed our orders in we're gonna get Glock 47s with aim point, and I think we're just gonna have to hold off until they start selling this to departments, and we're definitely gonna have to go with the Glock Gen 6s. So I'm not sure on the optic, maybe the aim point, maybe the Vortex Defender, but that's gonna be up for the range master to decide what he wants to go with. So again, the Glock Gen 6, worth the price for the blue label price. Not sure how much it's going to go for civilians, and it's going to be up to you whether you want to upgrade just because of the grip and the trigger. All right, fellas. So we had already signed off. One more question: is this gun going to replace the Shadow Systems, or should you buy a Shadow Systems over this gun? Um, I have 3 Shadow Systems: the DR920, the XR920P, and the MR920 Compt. That MR920 Compt is one of my favorite guns. I mean, it's up there right below my Walther PDP. But this gun, I think, definitely shoots better than those Shadow Systems. When I first got that XR920P, you know, everybody was talking about how good they shot. They're like so much better than Glock, and I just shot average with them. I did not shoot any better with them. I did not think the trigger was that much better than, you know, your Gen 5 Glock. But, you know, for they're selling for $1,100. I do not think that upgrade is worth it when you can get the new Glock Gen 6, you know, for five, six, $700. And I mean, you saw the way I'm not a perfect shot. I want to be a competition shooter, working to it. Going to take some classes to be a competition shooter, but I'm not one right now. And you saw how I was shooting with it. I mean, just phenomenal. You know, is $400 or $500 more, you know, going to make you a better shooter? No, not if you're going to go to a Shadow Systems. If you really want to be a better shooter and you want to upgrade from your Glock Gen 4 or 5, go to a Walther with your performance trigger or an HK with their trigger. Those are definitely better guns out there. But other than that, you can get this cheaper than your Walther or your HK. Especially if you're a law enforcement or a service member, and you can get that blue label price, which is, you know, roughly between $500 to $600 depending on what sights you want. Again, these are the plastic sights; they're not the iron, the metal steel sights. But I'll be replacing these, and again, I'll come back with a, you know, follow-up video in about a month and let you know how it's doing. All right, with that, let's fingers up. Remember, get out there, lock, load, carry, work on your fundamentals, train, know your holds. Best fingers out.